Beginning from the Philippines, this international NGO has widened its reach to empower Asian nations and help them through projects for sustainability and community development. We'll learn about the Asia Society for Social Improvement and Sustainable Transformation, or ASSIST. Joining us now is its Executive Director, Francis Macatulad. Francis, thank you so much for joining us on The Final Word.
Glad to be here, Rico. Thanks for having me.
Share with us, what is the mandate of ASSIST?
Okay, well, the mandate of ASSIST is to serve the disadvantaged. We have a lot of programs for various sectors, and we work across a variety of thematic areas. Now, we are a non-government organization founded here in the Philippines back in 2003. So we've been around some time. Next year, we'll be celebrating our 20th year of service.
And one of the sectors I'd like to really focus on is primarily food security and agriculture. It is front and center,
correct.
especially during this administration and the latter part of the Duterte administration. We have a very tight food supply. What kind of projects is ASSIST getting into to help the Philippines in this sector?
Well, I agree with the administration's thrust. Now, agriculture should have been front and center for some time, but things have not been going so well, so we have been implementing a lot of projects for agriculture. We've implemented for corn, for coffee, for cacao, onions. We've installed solar-powered irrigation systems to reduce their costs. We are currently running large programs on soil health management, very important, with the rising prices of fertilizers and inputs, on regenerative agriculture, organic methods of agriculture, as well as smart farming. We want to introduce new technologies to the farmers to increase their yields and outputs.
And how vast is the network of these programs of ASSIST? Do you really get into the grassroots levels, into the local government units?
Yes, we are quite connected with the grassroots. Our programs are in partnership with cooperatives, with local government units, government agencies, academic partners. A lot of our core projects have capacity building. We believe that to enact real and long-term meaningful change, we need to change the behavior of people. And to do that often requires a change in mindset, which can only come from education and awareness. That's why a lot of our components have learning modules in them, so that we can properly educate and train people and thus change behavior and create social change.
In your observation, Francis, is the government addressing properly the food security and agricultural problems of our country?
Okay, I think it would be an unfair answer if I said no, because it's such a huge issue with many, interrelated parts. It's really hard to address it all at the same time. That's why our motto of ASSIST has been a partnership for progress. It's very important that we work together, we collaborate, and we find ways to all together try to resolve these issues. Our problems, they're too big for any of us to resolve on our own.
I totally agree. But can you cite specific projects of ASSIST in food security and agriculture? Which province, which LGU in Luzon, Visayas and Mindanao have you been able to help them with their agricultural and food security needs?
Sure. We are trying to increase the yields, for example, in corn, in the Isabela and Ifugao regions, especially in the sloping areas. These are where erosion has caused damage to the soil health. So we're introducing contour farming, intercropping, organic material being introduced to the soil. And we are running these as demonstration farms. We actually have farms in those areas where we bring the farmers to see for themselves. We make a business case. This is has been an issue, I think, for a lot of time. The training has been there, but the adoption has been poor. The farmers need to see. We need to show them and let them realize that these trainings can actually benefit them and improve their incomes and harvests.
What about in the Visayas and Mindanao? Is your network also assisting a lot of farmers in these areas?
Yes, we work with a lot of the agricultural state colleges, and we are training their students, who will be our next batch of agriculturists and technologists. So it's very important that these youngsters are introduced to these more modern and more effective ways of agriculture. No? One issue that we are seeing, you may realize that our farmers are getting old. I think the average is about 62.
The new generation needs to come in. But a lot of them don't want to be farmers. They want to be in the city.
Correct. They want to be BPO. I mean, nothing wrong with that. They want to be in construction.
They want to earn more money.
Correct. So you want to create more excitement for the youngsters to go into agriculture. But for the women farmers who are starting to take over, the daughters, we're introducing women's health programs. No, it's not just the technical aspect that needs to be resolved. We have to take care of the farmers themselves. So we run a lot of health programs, financial literacy programs. You know, the farmer is perpetually in debt. You may realize that, no? The financiers, they rely on credit. I think that's brought about their lack of awareness on financial management. So we are introducing these to our farmers.
And of course, in the grassroots level as well, if they don't want to be farmers, then they can get into other livelihoods and be entrepreneurs. And of course, this government is also pushing for inclusive growth. This has been a theme over the past administrations, but it seems like we really can't get inclusive growth especially now. I mean, we have higher prices, consumer prices, inflation is up, the peso is at historical lows. How are you assisting our grassroots levels kababayans with their livelihoods?
Yeah, we realize even for farmers, they need alternative livelihoods because of the cycle of the harvest. No, so we're introducing several income generating programs, but mainly we work with a lot of technical vocational institutions. Now, as I said, capacity building is our core. So we train the tech voc institutions to be able to train their students. No? In most cases, we don't deal with the technical stuff, but more of the soft programs, you know, how to communication, digital skills, safety skills, green skills. No? So these are knowledge and learnings that the tech voc students need to gain meaningful employment. So we try to give them a leg up so that they could be employed.
Every year, we're hit by more than 20 typhoons. We just recently were impacted by Karding. How are you helping our kababayans in terms of disaster preparedness and response?
Yep. Disaster preparedness is very important for the Philippines and in our region, which are always hit by disasters. We have current programs. We're training 10,000 community members on disaster preparedness. And one of the things that we have introduced...
You have this master of disaster.
This is a assist, designed, and developed board game. We use this as one of the innovative ways to make our training programs more engaging. So this is an actual board game. No? It's been adopted by several organizations. It's in partnership with DepEd. It's available in some 2,500 public schools. And it's a good way to teach particularly youth because it's a language that they understand. No? It's an engaging, it's play. No?
But of course, when you are helping a lot of our kababayans in the grassroots levels, through farming, livelihood, disaster preparedness, even sustainability, you need funding. Where do you get your money to basically, finance all of these projects, Francis?
Sustainability is very important for NGOs. No? In the earlier half, probably of Assist Life, we were partnered with the multilateral and bilateral agencies, USAID, JICA, COICA, OSA, the European Union, and we still do. But realize we need to generate funds where we are. So for the Philippines, we are engaging more of the local organizations and corporations to partner with us for advocacies that they share with us.
On that note, we would like to thank you for sharing with us your advocacies and initiatives from Assist, Executive Director Francis Macatulad.
Thank you very much, Rico.